20 million live chickens cross borders each year, moving by truck, ship, and even plane. Unlike frozen poultry, live birds need careful handling to prevent stress, dehydration, and disease. A delay of just a few hours can lead to devastating losses. Special crates, climate-controlled transport, and strict veterinary checks keep them healthy. But how do millions of birds survive long distances? From biosecurity measures to high-tech transport, this is the unseen world of live poultry logistics. It all starts on poultry farms, where birds are chosen based on weight, health, and destination requirements. Once selected, they are placed into stackable crates designed for airflow, ensuring they remain cool and comfortable. Trucks equipped with ventilation systems line up for loading, each carrying thousands of birds to export facilities. Before departure, veterinarians inspect the flock, checking for disease and issuing health certificates required for border entry. On the road, temperature control is crucial. Chickens are highly sensitive to heat stress, so transport trucks use adjustable ventilation and cooling fans to maintain a stable environment. In hot climates, misting systems may spray a fine layer of water to keep body temperatures from rising too quickly. Drivers must plan routes carefully, avoiding long stops that could disrupt airflow. At international borders, poultry shipments face rigorous inspections where officials verify paperwork, conduct health checks, and enforce quarantine protocols if needed. Delays can be costly. If birds are held too long without proper care, entire shipments may be lost. Some journeys require air transport, especially for high-value breeding stock or specialty poultry. Inside cargo planes, birds travel in pressurized compartments with controlled airflow, similar to conditions in ground transport. Special lighting systems help keep them calm, minimizing stress during the flight. Upon arrival, birds undergo another round of health checks before being transported to farms, markets, or breeding facilities. While regulations vary by country, most limit transport times to prevent excessive stress. The European Union, for example, requires stops every few hours to provide water and rest for the animals. In regions with vast distances between farms and markets, mobile rest stations have been introduced, allowing chickens to recover in monitored environments before continuing their journey. Each step is carefully managed to ensure that millions of birds arrive healthy, meeting the demand for fresh poultry and sustainable breeding programs worldwide. Moving live poultry across borders is a race against time, where every stage must be managed with precision to prevent losses. Chickens are highly sensitive to environmental changes, and even small fluctuations in temperature, humidity, or ventilation can have devastating consequences. Unlike frozen poultry, which can remain in cold storage for extended periods, live birds require constant monitoring and intervention to survive long trips. The challenge begins the moment they are loaded onto transport vehicles, where conditions inside crates must be carefully regulated to prevent overcrowding, dehydration, or suffocation. Heat stress is one of the biggest risks, particularly in warmer climates or during peak summer months when external temperatures can soar. Chickens struggle to regulate body heat, and if air circulation inside transport crates is insufficient, temperatures can rise dangerously fast. Packed together in confined spaces, birds generate body heat that amplifies the problem, creating an environment where oxygen levels drop and stress levels increase. To counteract these risks, transporters rely on a combination of ventilation systems, cooling mechanisms, and precise route planning. Trucks equipped with temperature-controlled compartments help maintain stable conditions, while ventilation fans regulate airflow to prevent heat buildup. In some cases, misting systems spray a fine layer of water over the birds to reduce body temperature and mitigate the effects of heat stress. However, external factors such as unexpected traffic congestion, border delays, or mechanical failures can disrupt these carefully controlled conditions. A transport truck stuck in a long queue at a customs checkpoint, for example, can quickly become a death trap if airflow is compromised. Drivers must plan their routes meticulously, avoiding peak traffic hours and high-risk areas to ensure that birds remain in stable conditions throughout the trip. Cold weather presents a different set of challenges. Exposure to extreme chill can weaken birds, slow their metabolism, and increase mortality rates. Insulated transport crates help shield them from the worst of the cold, while some transport systems incorporate heating elements to maintain a suitable internal temperature. The balance between keeping birds warm enough to prevent hypothermia and cool enough to avoid overheating is delicate, requiring constant adjustments based on real-time weather conditions. Transporters must anticipate changes in temperature along the route, preparing for sudden shifts that could threaten the well-being of the birds. Beyond environmental hazards, disease control is one of the most pressing concerns in live poultry transport. Chickens are highly susceptible to infectious diseases, and moving them across borders increases the risk of spreading outbreaks. Governments enforce strict health protocols to prevent the transmission of avian influenza, Newcastle disease, and other poultry illnesses that can devastate entire flocks. Before export, birds must undergo health screenings, and only those certified as disease-free are allowed to travel. Veterinarians inspect flocks for symptoms such as respiratory distress, feather loss, or unusual behavior that might indicate underlying illness. Transport crates, trucks, and handling facilities must be disinfected before and after every shipment to reduce contamination risks. Some countries impose mandatory quarantine periods, requiring imported birds to be housed in isolated facilities upon arrival, where they are monitored for potential signs of disease before being released to farms or markets. Despite these precautions, outbreaks remain an ever-present threat. A single infected bird in a shipment can lead to severe consequences, including the rejection of entire truckloads, immediate culling, or even temporary bans on poultry imports from affected regions. When outbreaks occur, governments often impose emergency restrictions that halt the movement of live poultry altogether. This has happened multiple times in recent years, with avian influenza outbreaks causing entire supply chains to grind to a halt. Farmers and exporters must constantly adapt to changing regulations, sometimes facing sudden border closures that leave them scrambling to reroute shipments or find alternative markets. In addition to biological threats, legal and regulatory hurdles complicate the movement of live poultry. Each country has its own set of import and export laws, requiring exporters to navigate a maze of paperwork, veterinary certificates, and inspection protocols. Transport time limits are another challenge, with many countries imposing restrictions on how long live animals can be on the road before mandatory rest stops are required. In the European Union, for example, poultry shipments must stop at designated intervals to allow birds access to water and recovery time. These rules are designed to protect animal welfare, but they also add logistical complications, as transporters must factor in rest periods when planning routes. Unexpected delays can be devastating, especially when caused by factors beyond a transporter's control. Political disputes, trade disagreements, or sudden policy changes have all disrupted poultry shipments in the past, forcing exporters to find last-minute solutions to prevent losses. In some cases, trucks filled with live chickens have been stranded at borders for days, with no clear resolution in sight. Without proper ventilation, food, and water, birds begin to weaken, and if authorities do not intervene quickly, entire shipments may be lost. Some exporters have turned to real-time GPS tracking and remote monitoring systems to stay ahead of potential disruptions, allowing them to make adjustments before problems escalate. Advanced communication between transporters, border officials, and veterinarians has helped streamline the process, but unforeseen challenges still arise, making flexibility and rapid response essential in this industry. The risks don't end once birds reach their destination. Upon arrival, they must be quickly unloaded and acclimated to their new environment, whether that means a farm, market, or breeding facility. Sudden changes in surroundings can cause additional stress, so handlers must take extra care to ensure a smooth transition. In cases where birds have traveled particularly long distances, rehydration and nutritional support may be necessary to help them recover from transport fatigue. Biosecurity measures continue even after delivery, as farms must monitor new arrivals for any signs of illness that could pose a risk to existing flocks. The entire process is a balancing act where efficiency, animal welfare, and regulatory compliance must align perfectly to ensure success. Transporting live chickens across borders is far more than just a logistical operation. It is a highly coordinated effort requiring expertise at every level, from farmers and veterinarians to truck drivers and customs officials. Each shipment carries financial stakes, ethical responsibilities, and the challenge of maintaining bird health against an array of unpredictable factors. The sheer scale of this movement, with millions of birds crossing borders every year, underscores the complexity of global food supply chains and the extraordinary efforts required to keep them running smoothly. Transporting live chickens across borders has evolved with technology and logistics, reducing risks while improving efficiency. Climate control has seen major advancements, with modern transport trucks equipped with sensors that monitor temperature, humidity, and airflow in real time. Unlike older ventilation systems, AI-powered controls adjust conditions automatically, preventing heat stress and cold exposure. Cooling fans, misting systems, and insulation ensure that chickens remain in stable environments despite external weather changes. These innovations have lowered mortality rates, allowing birds to travel longer distances safely. Tracking technology has transformed poultry logistics. GPS-enabled systems provide real-time updates, allowing transporters to adjust routes when delays occur. Traffic congestion or long border queues can be costly, so logistics teams redirect shipments when necessary. RFID tags on crates help monitor specific groups of chickens, ensuring compliance with transport regulations. Digital records of transport conditions, rest stops, and veterinary inspections have streamlined border crossings, reducing waiting times that could otherwise compromise bird welfare. In regions with strict import protocols, electronic documentation has accelerated processing, preventing delays that could threaten the health of transported flocks. Minimizing stress is a priority, as prolonged exposure to unfamiliar environments can weaken birds. Soft lighting systems inside transport vehicles create a calming effect, mimicking dawn and dusk to keep chickens at ease. Noise reduction strategies include insulated panels and vibration-dampening materials that limit sudden jolts and loud sounds. Studies show that reduced stress levels improve survival rates and meat quality, making these innovations essential for both animal welfare and economic reasons. Some companies have developed automated conveyor systems for loading and unloading, replacing manual lifting, which was not only labor-intensive but also increased the risk of injury to birds. Crate design has also advanced, replacing rigid plastic containers with modular systems that allow better airflow and prevent overcrowding. Adjustable dividers ensure birds have space while remaining secure. For long-haul exports, air cargo has seen improvements, with specialized livestock transport divisions offering temperature-controlled compartments designed for poultry. Cargo holds are pressurized to maintain stable oxygen levels, while airflow is regulated to prevent stress. High-value poultry breeds, particularly those used for breeding, are transported in customized enclosures with individual ventilation, reducing mortality rates and improving genetic distribution across global markets. In regions where road infrastructure is unreliable, alternative transport methods have emerged. Some areas, particularly in Southeast Asia and parts of South America, rely on river transport. Traditional wooden boats have been replaced with motorized vessels designed with proper ventilation and climate control, allowing birds to be moved efficiently between farms and urban markets. In Africa, small-scale poultry transporters use motorcycles with specialized crates, adapting to rough terrain and long distances. These alternative transport systems have enabled farmers in remote areas to access broader markets while maintaining animal welfare standards. Sustainability has become a central focus in poultry transport. Some companies have begun using electric-powered trucks, reducing emissions and minimizing noise, which in turn reduces stress for birds. Large poultry farms have introduced solar-powered transport hubs, where birds are held in climate-controlled environments powered by renewable energy before being loaded onto trucks. These initiatives reflect the industry's shift toward environmentally responsible logistics without compromising efficiency. Automation has streamlined poultry transport further, particularly in border inspections and quarantine processing. AI-driven image recognition systems quickly assess flocks for signs of disease, reducing reliance on manual inspections that can slow shipments. Blockchain technology is being explored for transparent, tamper-proof records of poultry movement, improving traceability and compliance. With data integration, regulators can monitor poultry movement in real time, enhancing biosecurity measures while ensuring a seamless export process. These innovations have reshaped live poultry transport, reducing risks, improving efficiency, and prioritizing animal welfare. As technology continues to advance, poultry logistics will become even more reliable, sustainable, and humane, ensuring that millions of chickens move across borders safely while meeting global demand. Moving 20 million live chickens across borders each year is a feat of precision, requiring seamless coordination between farmers, veterinarians, transporters, and regulators. Every shipment depends on carefully controlled conditions, from temperature regulation and stress reduction to biosecurity measures that prevent disease outbreaks. Despite the challenges, heat stress, delays, and ever-changing regulations, advancements in climate-controlled transport, tracking technology, and automated systems have transformed poultry logistics, making it safer and more efficient than ever before. Few people realize the complexity behind the fresh chicken they find at markets and grocery stores. While frozen poultry may travel more predictably, live birds require a delicate balance of speed, care, and expertise. Every crate packed, every border crossed, and every veterinary check passed represents an industry working tirelessly to meet global demand while prioritizing both efficiency and animal welfare. The next time you see fresh chicken in your local market, consider the intricate system that made it possible. Behind every shipment is a network of people and technology ensuring that millions of birds reach their destinations safely. If you found this glimpse into poultry transport fascinating, stay tuned for more hidden stories about the logistics behind our food supply.